small talk all out so loud that the other team couldn't hear each other. And like when we're doing that, where the other team, like, I think what would happen is like if you put them on a big stage, let's say there was like a good like 20, 30 feet on a main stage, and like we're facing each other. So like monitor back to monitors are looking at each other. But there's enough distance to where you can't over talk the other team, but like you can stand up and look at them. You can see you, and they can see you're yelling and hear you in the background. That would be fine. But like, I mean, like we literally at Gfinity we played Optic, and we were yelling to the point where they couldn't hear each other, and like it got to the point where on S&D we were yelling what we were doing. We were like, "We're all going B. Come fight us! Dare you? Come challenge us! We're gonna plan it right away." And we would do it. Like we weren't lying. And it was such like a psych out. And like they're like, "What the fuck is going on? Why are they yelling? Why can't we just go play Minecraft and have fun?" and it got to the point where we were just like over talking them. They couldn't do anything about it. So it's like trash talk should never stop in competitive Call of Duty ever. It just shouldn't.
Yeah, and I also think it's on
where it's not unprofessional.
Yeah, I think it's also on the other team. Like when Killa was talking trash, if Envy would have not, like, especially Hastro, if he wouldn't have reacted to it, he would have stopped eventually because he's not getting a reaction from him. But when you're reacting back and he knows he's messing with you, he's going to keep going.
Yeah, well, I even talked to Hastro that night, and I mean, I agree with him. He was basically like what they did was uncalled for, but like there was no way Hastro couldn't respond. You know what I mean?
Yeah. After like 5 or 10 minutes of someone sitting there personally attacking you and your team, it's alright. I'm done now.
Not respond. I mean, as much as like
but the problem is
he did, and like, I know. I mean, if they would have ignored it, they would probably have stopped.
Not even like somebody on Envy. That needs to be their job to step up and start pumping their team up because everybody's kind of sat there.
Yes, but no. Envy's got a brand image to uphold, and Hastro would rather it be him than it be his players. You know what I'm saying? So Hastro kind of took like the role he had to take, stand up for his team instead of his players stooping down to that player's level. So it's like, I mean, I respect Hastro for what he did, and I mean, you can't really flack him for it. Like, he had to do what he had to do. But I mean, big shout out to Proofy, JCap, Ray, and Karma, like, for ignoring it, and keeping their composure.
I was surprised Karma didn't respond. To be honest, I was expecting him to go crazy.
He couldn't, man. Like, I mean, he just couldn't.
Yeah.
You get to the point where you like know, like, dude, whatever, I can't. And I mean, that's what happens. Like, when you're at the level like some of these guys are at, we're at, whatever. You can't cross lines, and like even if the other team's crossing lines, you can't stoop down because you got more on the line than they do. Like Killa said on his stream tonight, I'll be professional if someone pays me to be professional. Like he's making $0 a month, he's got no salary, he doesn't care. He's only making prize money. And it's like for some of these other guys, they're not making just prize money. They have a lot of stream revenue, which comes from their brand, which comes from their fans, and it's like they have salaries. There's a lot more on the line than just your bank account from prize money. And it's like Epsilon doesn't have that. And I mean that's where it gets to the point where Envy and teams like the bigger name teams can't stoop down to that level. So I mean, it's not a shots fired. It's just that's how it is. It's realistic. Like I'm being realistic. Like you just can't. And I mean, I respect everybody for what they did this weekend. Other than Impact roasting the fans, I didn't really understand that. But yeah, I mean, it happens, and I'm proud of Envy for being as professional as they were.
Yeah, I mean, have you guys ever? Hold on, just one last quick question here, Hype. Have you guys ever thought about moving Clayster to the inside? You sit on that certain side. He's always on the outside. Putting him on the inside.
Well, okay. So this is our original thing. We normally sit Krim, TP, me, Clay. Okay. And this we were thinking Epsilon was going to beat TK in the losers finals. We kind of were like, all right, Epsilon will beat TK. And I was telling my team like, hey, if we play Epsilon, let me sit closer to them because I get in their head more than anyone because they dislike me more than everybody else on my team. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're winning and it's me that's talking shit to Epsilon, it's going to affect them way more than if it was TP or Clayster. Because Epsilon, like, I mean, as good friends are we outside of the game, in the game, they dislike me the most. And so that was my idea, was sitting on the outside. and then like we kind of were just like, all right, whatever. We thought we'd do it, so we might as well try versus TK. But like, yeah, our normal setup sitting order will be Crim on the far outside, TP, myself, and then Clay.
Nice. So my last.
Hold on. I just want to say, it'd be really funny watching TP try to shit talk like, "Hey, Parasite, you suck."
Well, the thing is, he did at Gfinity, Parasite stood up. Teep like lost a S&D round. Parasite stood up and he like pointed at him and directly called him out on something. I don't remember what it was, but it pissed Teep off. And the next match, Teep dropped like 45 kills and he was shit talking. Like, it's like Teep doesn't talk shit unless you like actually make him mad. And it's like, I'm fine when people make Teep mad because he plays 10 times better. So I would rather like. I would like openly allow you to talk shit to TP. I'll like literally get on my knees and start praying the other team to talk shit to Teep because he gets mad. And when he's mad, he's 100 times better. And I mean, and then the thing with Crim is, Crim doesn't really care. Crim doesn't care what they're saying. Crim doesn't yell. Crim doesn't
He's a robot.
He just plays. And it's like, I mean, when he rapes somebody, he's gonna let them know he rapes them. But like, he doesn't care what people are saying to him. He doesn't care to yell at the other team like just normally. That's like me, X, and Clay's job. And I mean, I think the only reason I really yelled is because Clay lost his voice. Clay wasn't doing it. Like, I had to step up and like, especially on slums, I was doing the best. Like, I was just like destroying them. And every time I would literally lose a gunfight and I would yell, "Get raped," and I would spawn in like a mile away from the action and yell, "Challenge me," when like I'm not even in a gunfight, just to like let them hear that and think like, oh, he's looking for a gunfight. Like, where is he? Just little things like that changes the game so much, and it's so weird to think about because like it shouldn't, but it does. And I mean, that's the best thing about Call of Duty.
Yeah. So the last question I have, obviously you guys are now eligible to go to ESWC. Right. Number one, do you plan on going?
Yeah, we will be in Paris 100%, October 3rd.
Awesome. And as far as I know, they haven't really announced any other NA qualifiers, but there is like 4 spots for invites to go.
Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you what I know. It's not really like classified information, but it's like kind of inside info. From what I heard, which I kind of heard directly, I mean, they're only going to be 2 NA teams and 3 at the absolute max, but they will not more than that. And they want to. So we guaranteed our spot. I know Gfinity 2 is another qualifier for ESWC. So if an NA team goes to that, they can qualify there. And then obviously the application thing. But I mean, if there's already 2, like you gotta think, ESWC is not a Call of Duty tournament. They're a World Cup. They're just like Call of Duty championships. They want world teams. They want to show countries. They want to show the entire world playing Call of Duty. Not NA team powerhouses. And I mean like. So I mean, like, it's gonna be in a tough spot. I mean, they're looking to up their brand as a World Cup, not a Call of Duty tournament. And I mean, so they will have 2 at the max, 3 North American teams at ESWC.
So basically, what Aches just said is, if Optic does not win Gfinity 2, there will be 3 NA teams there because they'll get invited.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. Here's the thing, man. All right, I know Nate Shot or Big T or Scump, one of them are gonna subtweet me later. I don't even care. They're at a point in Black Ops 2 right now to where they don't even need to attend events. I know they're saying they care about winning. Whatever, shut up. Like, no, you don't. Like Big T tweeted the other day, I have 13 major titles. You're never gonna get that, and like blah blah blah. But like you're to the point where like you are excelling in being an entertainer. You're doing better than anybody will right now in Call of Duty. You're gonna make more money than all of us. You're gonna like, you're doing better than all of us will do for a couple of years. You really don't need to go to tournaments. Like, it would almost be better for their brand to only attend like 3 events in a year and make it like a thing to where like it's a big deal that Optic is going to this event. Like it would almost drive their like fans to be like, oh my god, Optic's finally competing this weekend at a whatever tournament. And like if they like basically make it like a rare thing where Optic competes. I mean, they're still going to be a pro team and they're still on the level to where they're it's good as everybody else. But I mean, in my honest opinion, I think Merc is the only one who's driven, who's still adapting and learning the game, and wants to win as much as everybody else. And then Big Timer, I mean, Big Timer still loves Call of Duty, loves competing, but like Big Timer loves money just like everybody else does. And I mean, he's blowing up. Like he's made for YouTube. He is hilarious dude. He's
an
like
entertainer.
he's like the funny douchebag like that everyone loves to listen to. Like he's a hilarious dude, and like he's made for YouTube. That's his fucking. That's where he should be.
His calling,
and like, and Twitch is another thing that's like it allows you to not only expand your YouTube but like give you something to do on a daily to day basis. And I mean, like they're at the point where they're gonna excel. They're gonna make more money than everybody. They're doing better than every team. That they don't need to go to these events. Like they don't need to go and get third if they're not gonna actually like put the time in to win. I mean, I know they're saying like on their YouTube videos, oh like they're planning to do this big thing, to blah blah blah. But it's like, I know your teammates have been out of the house, but like you guys have been putting 9 hours a day into Minecraft. I know it's fun and entertaining, and you're building more fans. But like, if you really cared to win, you would be putting hella time into COD, hella time into getting better. I'm watching Merc, man. Merc doesn't care. Merc's got back from the house, or like before he left, I think he was playing COD 8 like 7 hours a day, and he probably is a top 3 anchor in the game. But no one gets to see it because it's like they don't play as a team, and they're not on the point together as a team where they want to learn together. And I mean, I would honestly say like it's not even, they're getting free travel just like everybody else, but like it's not even worth it for them to go and get third and come back and say, guys, we're sorry, we want to get a championship for you guys, but we just haven't yet. And it's like, man, just stream, do YouTube, like make more money than all of us, and just entertain people, and then go to like one event where like it's like a rare thing, and everybody will be like, oh my god, Optic's competing. Like it's not even like a business decision. It's just like it's like common sense, man. You're gonna make more money than all of us. You don't need prize money. Like why even go? If you're at the point where competing isn't your goal anymore, then fine, go be an entertainer. Like that's what you're good at. Excel in it. And I mean, I think Merc is the only one on the team who is driven enough to still win. And I mean, they're all good, right? But like if they don't want to use their talent to the point where they have to understand that they still have to learn the game just as much instead of grinding league play. Like you're not learning anything when you're grinding league play. All you're learning is how to run the Twitch TV ad every 10 minutes. And it's like, well, man, like get on, play team scrims, play 8s, play competitive Call of Duty where you're learning the game. Otherwise, just don't even show up. Like it's not even fair for you to go to events and take away from these guys like TK who are grinding the game day in, day out to gain a fan base to show, hey, we can compete. When it's like when Optic goes to an MLG event, Optic is going to be, or any event for matter, they're going to be the most loved team. They're going to get the most support. And it's like, well, hey, yeah, you're supporting competitive COD, but you're taking away from what these guys are doing. And I mean, they love Call of Duty. Everyone does, but they love it in a different way now, I believe, other than Merc. And I mean, they love it because they can entertain people. It's an outlet. It's an outlet for them. And I mean, Optics, they're all great guys. And I know they're probably going to subtweet me or whatever later, but I mean, they're all great. But like, they're at a point where they're blowing up. They're doing what every competitive Call of Duty wants to do, but in a different way. And I mean, I'm not jealous of any of them. They're doing.
Guys, you gotta understand, he's not hating on them. He's saying, you know, that's great for them. They can make that money.
The thing is, they're doing what they want to do. That's not what I want to do. If I wanted to do that, you know, I'd have a YouTube. I would have gone that route years ago. Like Nadeshot was the first one to do it because he knows that's where the money's at. I'm not in it for the money. Like, I'm not even saying they're in it for the money, but they're in it to the point where they want to become professional entertainers or even gamers to where they can actually see themselves making a living in this industry and growing in this industry like no one else can. And they have Optic behind them, which gives them the opportunity to more than any other team. Like yeah, I have Complexity behind me that to the point where they've been in esports 10 years. But I'm here to win. I'm here to prove that I'm the best in a video game, and I can maintain being the best and consistently win. Because that's what I care about. I care about winning. And I know everyone on my team cares about winning. I'm not saying Optic doesn't, but they're at a point where they realize, like, winning isn't their main priority because that's not where the money's at. And that's not where making a living's at. And that's not where paying the bills are at. And, I mean, you know, more power to Optic for doing what they're doing because they're making more money than me. I'm not jealous of it. I accept it. Like, they're doing what I could have done 3 years ago if I wanted to. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's not hard work. It is. You have to grind. You have to post YouTube videos every day. You have to be very interactive with your fans. But like, that's just not me. That's not who I am. And I mean, they're gonna make more money than me. Every single one of them probably will make 4 times the more money than I will this year, and I'm fine with that. But I will win more tournaments because that's what I want to do. I want to win. And I'm not saying I shouldn't have a YouTube because every competitive Call of Duty player should have a YouTube. But yeah, I want to win, and I mean, and Optic wants to make money, and they want to become entertainers, and that's what they're gonna do, and they're gonna make more money than all of us. So you can't hate on them. But I mean, that's their goal, and I mean, that was their goal, I believe, moving into the team house more than it was getting better at the game. They're doing what they want to do, and they're excelling in it. So let them. I mean, I'm not taking away from the fact that they're a bad competitive team because they're not. They will go to every tournament and they will get top 5 every time because they're all veteran players. They're all on the same level. They will get top 5 every time. But I mean, and even if they win, it wouldn't even be winning because they're the best team. They're putting the time in. Something could happen. But like, they're gonna make money. They moved into the house. They're gonna like Hex said, I think in one of his original videos, they're gonna push more content than anyone's ever seen before. And I mean, that's a goal. Like that's you guys gotta understand. Like Twitch TV ad revenue. I mean, there's money there, but like YouTube is where it's at. YouTube is where people are gonna blow up. Like the thing about Twitch TV is ad block is the most stupidest thing in the world. It's literally the dumbest thing that's ever been invented. There's a reason StarCraft 2 isn't going to be on MLG, and I'm not saying it's only because of ad block, but like ad block fucks everyone up on Twitch TV, and like the money isn't as good. But YouTube is where all the money's at. Being an entertainer on YouTube, where you have a huge following, especially having the backing of a brand like Optic Gaming, you're going to make more money than everyone this year. And I mean, bro, like, do that. I'm glad for you, man. I'm happy you're excelling in Call of Duty. You know, I'm happy that you took being a competitive gamer into making a living out of it and being a professional entertainer. But that's not what I want to do. So don't call me jealous because I have a different goal in mind. You know, I'm a 4-year college student. I might even go further than that. I'm getting a computer science degree. Like that's my goal. Even if this leads me to a point where I'm behind in wanting to become an entertainer, like. I'm not at that point in my life where that's what I want to do. I want to win. I want to compete. You know, while I'm in college, make money through prize money, and enjoy traveling the world for free. You know, like that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you just dropped the knowledge bomb, man.
Aches for president.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, as far as the ESWC, I kind of know that's where we started with this, but you know, like, if you guys do win Gfinity 2, that's one invite that could have went out that isn't going to.
Right.
Unless they give us a second.
They give it a second. Yeah, I believe how that works.
That's interesting.
So...
Which is
I'm
interesting.
like mind blown still.
This is what I want to say, though. This is the interesting part of it. Like at Gfinity 1, the second place team was a European team. So if the second place team is a European team at Gfinity 2, then only 1 and 8 team is going to get in. And I think that's the intel I got was, let's say 2 and 8 teams qualify through qualifiers, then there's 1 application spot for an NA team.
Yeah.
Optic.
Well, as far as Gfinity 2, though, there's 16 teams now, so I think we're going to see a lot more NA teams. I would be surprised if we didn't see at least 6 there.
Well, yeah, but there's still the age restrictions, so a lot of teams can't go.
Yeah, that's true, too.
There's, with all the roster changes that have occurred, there's so many teams that can't go now. Like, I think Envy is the only team that comes to mind that for sure can go. I think, does Unite have 1 player under 18?
I think Ricky's 17, I believe.
Right, that's what I thought too. So that takes Unite out. Does TK how old is Neslo?
Neslo's 18?
Then they're good. Okay, so TK would be. But Soar can't go because Methods is 16. No one on FaZe can go. Like, it's kind of scary because Epsilon breaking up picked up John, puts them in a position where they can't go. When they had Karma was 18. Optic can go too.
Yeah, Goonshar's
17.
Yep.
So TK can't go. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen. Either Gfinity is going to have to change their rules, or we're going to be lonely in Europe by ourselves. just the Cole gang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. So, really quick, guys, I do think Creeper has to head out. Creeper, you still have to go.
I'll see you.
Yes, I do. I'm out.
We'll
Alright,
see.
guys. So make sure to follow @ESM_Creeper on Twitter. We'll probably be live tomorrow, giving our predictions for the COD Ghost multiplayer reveal. Max will actually be there. So he
Hell
probably won't be
yeah.
on the show tomorrow. But he will be on the show on Wednesday.
Oh,
He will
you
be
look
on the
at my
show.
bank account. Don't look at my bank account.
Don't look
It's
at the
bad.
bank account.
Don't look at it. No.
So yeah, guys, make sure to follow @ES_Creeper. What we're gonna do, guys, we are gonna take a quick break. We'll come back with Aches and continue our discussion if he still has time. So yeah, guys, tweet the stream. We'll be right back.
All hail aches.
Respond to.
What is going on, everyone? We are back live with East SN Late Night, episode 31. We are joined right now by Complexity Captain Aches, and we are getting word that he wants to continue his motivational speech regarding Optic. So, Aches, take it away, man.
I just got one tweet I want to respond to. It kind of like irritated me because for Call of Duty competitive in general to grow, the fans need to be just as educated. The fans need to know just as much as everybody else knows. And I got a tweet that says, it was probably just some dumb, ignorant Optic fan, but Optic would not have gotten where they were unless they had won. And it's like, bro, you're so clueless that it's like Optic literally could get 70th place in every tournament they place in, and they will still make more money than all of us. Like, basically the only good thing about Optic right now for everyone who's not in Optic is the fact that they're drawing so much attention to competitive Call of Duty. It gives fans the ability to say, okay, hey, this is Call of Duty competitive, this is cool, this is new, I like it. Who else plays it? Can I browse some more Twitch streams? Can I see who else plays it? Oh, look at this guy. This guy's, what's his name? Oh, Aches. Oh, he looks like McLovin. Haha. Oh, he's funny. This guy's cool. Maybe I should watch him some more. You know, like, right now, that's the only thing that Optic is basically that benefits us, is the fact that they bring so many people into competitive Call of Duty that it gives us the chance to grow as individuals, which is why streaming on Twitch, making YouTube videos is so big. Sub boxes are so helpful because so many people can see that. But, like, they literally could go and place 90th place, and their fans, they're like loyal, like 30,000 strong fan base, would not care. They would say, "Oh man, good try, guys. You get them next time. Like, dude, we still love you. When's the next YouTube series coming out? Man, you guys are awesome." Like, they literally won't care. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, to the point where Optic's at the point where they don't need to go to events. They don't need to win. They should literally make it a thing where like they go to 3 events a year, and they have like a 2-week stream YouTube series where they're like grinding for Optic's first yearly or annually or quarterly, I guess, event, right? And it's like, they don't need to win, you know? They just need to remain professional. They need to continue their content, and they need to grow like they're growing. And I mean, it doesn't really care what they do. Like, here's the thing, which I didn't like, and X brought this up earlier when me and X were driving home. Nadeshot and X got into it on Twitter a couple months or weeks ago, when Nadeshot says something like, "My fans want to see me play Optic." This is before they started their Minecraft stuff. They're like, "Oh, well, my Optic fans or my fans want to see me play Call of Duty. They'll only care if I play Call of Duty." And it's like, X the whole time was like, "No, dude. Like, you could
I remember
go
that.
and play like Bash or freaking like Supersonic Hedgehog on a Sega. If you could stream that, you'd probably still pull 9,000 people watching." Like, Nadeshot, Optic, let's just say fans that watch Nadeshot watch because of Nadeshot. Like, you guys have grown to the point where you like his personality, you like what he says, how he does things, whatever. And it's like, he went on Minecraft, and I mean, given he had the help from Syndicate, because Syndicate started a YouTube series, but he went on Minecraft, and he broke his like all-time stream viewer record on Minecraft. And like a month prior to that, he was saying, "Man, like, my fans only want to watch COD. Like, they only care about COD." And it's like, nah, dude. Like, you can go and play Super Smash Brothers, and I can stream like the most competitive Team Scrim ever, and you will still get quadruple, if not like hella more viewers than I will ever get, playing whatever you want, because you have a fan base that likes you, not the game you're playing. It likes you. And it's like, and that's, I think, where Big T tweeted, which, I mean, it could have been a little sarcastic, where he was like, "I'm to the point in my career where I'm a professional entertainer. I'm not just a professional gamer." And so, I mean, that's all I wanted to say to respond to that one tweet. But I mean, they are doing the best out of every team or player or in competitive COD, I guess, at this moment. But the benefit to that is that they are bringing so much exposure to the scene that it gives the chance and ability. But you need to like quote those 2 words because it's so important. The chance and ability, not it's not guaranteed. It just gives the chance for those fans to say, "Oh, I want to branch off a little bit and see what else is in competitive COD." You know? So that's all I got to say to close out the Optic argument. But I mean, before any Optic fans jump down my throat, like, I like all the Optic guys. Like, I know you guys saw like a little Twitter war like not too long ago, but we're all good guys. We're all friends. Like, we're all here for one common goal, and that's to eventually make a living or to win and be dominant. So, yeah.
Wow.
Let's go on. New question. ESN late night. We're here. We're really late. 1:18 a.m. We got Profit coming on. I think we got Golden Boy coming on later. It is August 13th. We're 2 days away from the Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer reveal. So, I mean, Hype, how you doing? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just listening to your knowledge. But yeah, guys. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take a few chat questions.
If we can read through the chat.
Yeah, if we could read through the chat. So if you guys have any good questions, bring them up in the chat. We'll add about them, things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Also, guys, be sure to know that. Well, be sure to know that. No, know that tomorrow night we'll be doing our pre-show for the reveal event, and that the night after the event, which is Wednesday night, we will be doing a show afterwards. I'll be doing it live from the hotel in Los Angeles. Answering questions and stuff like that. Because I get to play the game. Wow!
Want a cookie or a medal?
Oh, all right. Who do I look like, Dylan?
Yeah, guys. So we are gonna have a show afterwards. Max will be in the hotel, like I said. We'll talk about COD Ghost. Talk about the reveal and exciting announcements for esports and competitive things like that. So yeah. Okay, so here's one. What do you think about Team Fair and their new roster? Do you think that this is gonna be good for them, or you think the brand's kind of down?
Team Fear?
Yeah.
That's Moho, Pac-Man, Looney, and Weech, right?
Yeah, that's the roster.
They're a new team. We scrimmed them the night before we left for UMG, and I'm going to be honest, we beat them in map count 9-0. Now, we've been playing together a long time, and we have our chemistry down where, like, that's common. They're a new team. And we are also on my host, and it's, like, online. And I hate judging teams off of online because it's so, like, this Call of Duty is so ridiculous online. Like, the things that happen and how it actually happens on LAN is so different. And, Looney is a really good player. He's West Coast, and he's coming up. Like, I don't want to say he's an amateur player, but like he's to the point where like he's gonna be a pro player soon, and he's really good. And then Moho, I want to be. I don't want to be the guy that's like, yo, Moho's been playing like 10 years. Like he's like 20 whatever years old now. Like, what's he doing? Why is he still playing? Because it's like, dude, if you love gaming, like look at Ego, for example. You love gaming. You love competing. You're going to do whatever you have to do to get to the point where you're going to be just as good as everybody else. It takes time. Moho took a break off. So, no, they're not going to be the best right away. Pac-Man and Weets are both... They've been playing longer than anyone. And Weets is a tank, dude. Like, honestly, if we didn't pick Clayster up, we probably would have picked Weets up. That's where we were at the point where, like...
picked who?
Weets.
Really? You would have picked up Weets?
If we didn't pick up Clayster, we would have went to Weets. If Clayster said no, we probably would have went to Weets. But that was, again, like, dude, this is the same thing, man. Like, we went to Clayster because Clayster had the best FAL and the best Cap 40 out of everybody. And we picked him up when it was still allowed, and a week later it gets banned. Like, so we kind of got lucky in that aspect. But Weets is a tank. Like, he's really good. I have a lot of respect for that guy. And then Pac-Man's been around since 08. Pac-Man, to be honest, guys, I played COD 4 in 08. I played competitively. But, like, when COD 4 went to Nationals in Las Vegas in 2008, when he was on Fear, like, Pac-Man was, like, the guy I really liked. Like, that was my favorite player, probably. He's a tank. Like, these players know how to win. That's what you got to understand. Like, there's a mindset that comes with winning, which is why we're so good with Mr. X. Mr. X is one more term that I can name. But, like, when you have the ability to close out a series and not choke, which is like the biggest thing in Call of Duty, it benefits your team that even if one player has that knowledge, but like in reality, like 2 to 3 players have that knowledge. But anyway, so I think they're going to be really good. I just think they got to grind out. I think they'll be a really good S&D team. I think if Moho can be extremely aggressive in respawns, while like basically if Moho can play TP's job, and what you guys don't understand, like TP could do my job. You guys gotta understand this. TP could do my job. TP could do Crim's job. Do it just as good as all of us. But TP is to the point where he's on a team where he wants to play the role that puts him in a position where he will be the selfless player that does whatever he's got to do to guarantee a win. And basically, TP's job in Hardpoint is just to get into a game and trade. It's literally get into a hill and trade kills. That's all he's got to do. If he gets one kill and dies, he did his job perfectly, and we're probably gonna break that hill. So I mean, if Moho can play that role, I think we'll be really good.
I didn't know you guys were actually looking at Wheats. That's
Yeah, it's surprising actually.
yeah.
So really quick, Aches. What's your thoughts for COD Ghost? I mean, obviously, I think we can kind of all predict that if they're inviting all these pro players and esports news organizations, that there's clearly going to be something good for competitive. Otherwise, I doubt they'd invite us and be inviting people. But do you have anything specific you're expecting or you're not expecting? Anything at all?
Well, let's say that. Okay, let's put this out there. Let's say, for example, Activision, and even not Activision, but like, just money is thrown into Call of Duty Ghost, right? It's supported. It has the LAN lobby, whatever. It's supported by every league. Like everyone wants Ghost. It's Call of Duty. It's huge. But let's say the game isn't good. I think, and I'm not saying the game's gonna be bad. I don't know, right? The multiplayer hasn't been showed, right? But I think it's gonna be like that, where the game isn't as good as it should or could be, but it's still gonna be supported by everybody. So I think, yeah, obviously there's gonna be LAN lobbies. I'm confident in that. There's probably Codcaster. Like they're not gonna drop the ball. Like with Activision showing COD Champs, it literally puts them in a spot where like they can't drop the ball. And so I think COD Ghost will be a competitive Call of Duty, right? And it will have tournaments and money will be there and whatever. But I don't think the game will be as fun as enjoyable as Black Ops 2 was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking, for the two main features, definitely Codcaster and LAN lobbies. But, maybe, as a follow-up question, what are you looking for the game? As a a casual player. So, we all started out playing Call of Duty the same way. We love the game itself. What do you really want to see this time around? In the game?
I think a feature similar to League Play is going to have to happen. I mean, if that's going to be crucial. But other than that, I believe that as long as like online play is enjoyable from the casual aspect, like bro, there's people who don't even know what Call of Duty competitive is, have no idea, but literally hate playing Black Ops 2 online because of like the way lag compensation and like things work on this game online. And so as long as the game is enjoyable online, and like there's not little things like how in Modern Warfare 3 you could snake glitch and things like that. I think that'll be it'll, as long as they don't just screw up. I have a feeling the maps are going to be different than anything we've seen. The maps aren't going to be like anything previous to any Call of Duty. But what I like about Infinity War games is the movement, the gameplay itself is really smooth. Like it just feels right. But other than that, as long as it's fun and smooth and enjoyable online, I think we'll be okay.
Hype?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that.
Okay. So guys, you guys obviously can't tell right now, but we are actually joined by Team Envious man, the man himself, Hastro. What's going on, Hastro?
So guys.
Doing good.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Hype, how you doing? I'm doing good. How
It's
you
been
doing?
a late night.
I'm exhausted. Why
Yeah,
don't
we
get
just
everyone in here?
actually pulled in from Atlanta, so it's
I got in early.
a long drive.
Karma's with you, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Damon. So, how was UMG Atlanta? The experience and everything.
I mean, I guess it was all right. I mean, obviously we're disappointed in our finish again, but I mean, there's no doubt. We have some things to work on, but it's part of what we do, man. I mean, when you're struggling to win and you have a lot of expectations, and it's really stressful. And like Pat said earlier, I mean, we're one of those teams that cares about winning more than anything. And I said a comment there, I think, and a lot of people saw that. I don't even really think reflects about how our team really feels.
Right. And obviously that video serviced, and we could talk about that later. But you guys picked up arguably the best player in Black Ops 2 in Karma, and people were really fearing you guys coming to this event.
Sorry, yeah, my Sky might be a little
That's fine.
shaky, but yeah, what I was saying is just like anytime we lose an event like that or place that low, we're disappointed. I mean, our first priority is winning, like Pat said, and we feel the same way and always have. And I mean, I think that's really the key to success is just like having that
That's the
drive to
biggest
win.
like personal success you could ever get. Like you're doing this for everybody else, but like when you win, like that's your goal. That's what you're doing it for you.
Exactly. So overall our team was disappointed, and we had the run-in with Impact, and that's why I just came on and talked to you guys essentially.
So, obviously, I'm sure that's really what you want to talk about. So, I mean, if you just want to go in there and explain everything that happened and your reaction, obviously, them going at someone for 5-10 minutes, no one could resist saying something back. So, if you just want to explain everything, that'd be cool.
Sure. I mean, honestly, I think I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah, you sound
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Yeah, I might cut out. So just let me know if I cut out in the chat and text chat. But yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, like a lot of people just don't know that. I care about those guys. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see those guys do well. I care about everybody. I think a lot of players will tell you that like I try to talk to as many people as possible. I leave like the rivalry on the stage. You know what I mean? Like immediately following that match, we were outside talking with Impact. I mean, I was talking to their players, and I mean, I'm one of the first people that gave Killa a chance in his whole career. I think I was the first pro that gave him a chance. To be honest, I played GBs with Killa. Me and Swanee did. Swanee, the European pro, like for 3 months, I played GBs with him in the first couple months of Black Ops 2. So like I want to see them do well. So I think it was just unfortunate how emotional they were, and I think that they got caught up in the heat of the moment. I talked to Marcus a lot last night too, and a lot of people just have to realize they're young players, man. All of them are young, like super young. I think all of them are under 20 years old, and they've had a lot of success to deal with. And I mean, I think part of that with that success, I mean, it goes to your head a little bit, and I think they just were so emotional in that match. They didn't really realize what they were doing. They were just kind of going at it as trying to win the match and getting in our heads, and didn't really realize the repercussions of their actions until afterwards. So I guess in a sense, I'm here just kind of defending them a little bit and just letting people know that, the public really just doesn't understand. Like, these players are super passionate about winning. So sometimes you're going to see some stuff come out of them that, normally they wouldn't represent themselves that way, but in the heat of the moment, they will.
Right.
It's just
But still, I mean,
like,
there's no excuse for it, though. I mean,
I
what I mean? Like,
wanted to
it's
say,
not
like-
an excuse for it.
Mhm. No, yeah. Totally understand where you're coming from and your whole viewpoint of the situation. But, I kind of want to transition away from that and go into more, team envious, itself at the tournament and, your performance. So, you guys dropped a long time, or not dropped, but Stainville left. He was, a tenured member of Envious. And you guys picked up Karma, who's arguably the best player in Black Ops 2, or for the entire Black Ops 2 season so far. And everyone was really fearing you guys coming to the event. We had Neslo on the show of Team Caliber a couple days before, and he was saying, that team is scary to play because when you're not worrying about Karma, you got to worry about JCap, Proofy. So what do you feel like you guys did right with the event? What you did wrong? What are you guys looking to improve on?
Well, I feel like, I just feel like we're unprepared. I think that shows, I mean, we're an unprepared team. I mean, that's just point blank. That's it. I mean, we relied literally pretty much solely on our individual skills and a little bit of teamwork that we've developed over a week and a half, and not even really that. I mean, I feel like it's fine for me to admit right now in this transition that it's going to take some work for our team to get to where we want to be. But at the same time, we didn't really perform all that terrible. I mean, we kind of gave away a game to Conquer. I really feel like we had that one wrapped up. I mean, it was a split-second call that screwed us in a 2v1. And Nifty made, like, he had to make that play perfectly, and he did. So, I mean, it was kind of like fate, you know what I mean? Like, it was Nifty's destiny to make that play, dude. Like, he was 2v1 with 11 seconds left to pull that flag and had to get both those kills instantly. And I mean, he literally melted JCap to get that kill.
Headshot, didn't he? He got a headshot.
I don't know what it was, but like he literally turned the corner. I'm pretty sure one of his teammates called out that Cap was jumping out of top green. That's the only way that he would have known where to put that shot.
No, I was watching it on the stream. He just like he came around that corner, and it was like when he grabbed the flag, it was weird. It was like the best timing play you ever asked for. When he grabbed the flag, his cursors were like on JCap's body, centered perfectly. And like all he had to do was zoom in and shoot, and he got him. And just did.
Yeah, I mean,
he couldn't have asked for better timing.
I mean, I feel like if we would have just defended that flag. So here's the problem. This is what happened. I'll tell you guys. So whenever we picked up Gucci with the flag, instantly me and Rambo out of instinct just yelled, "Get the re!" Okay, and what that meant was that Proofy and JCap instantly jumped out and went for the re, right? Went for the return, and Nifty picked off Proofy, and by the time Cap tried to set up by laying down and hard scoping the flag, Nifty was already turning the corner. So our problem there was we made a mistake. We said get the re. What we should have called out was camp the flag. We should have said camp the flag, and we would have won that match, you know. But unfortunately, we got caught, and you know, Nifty runs that flag in. If Nifty doesn't run that flag in, we win that match. I felt like we would have been a top 4 placing there at UMG. I felt like we would have had a lot more confidence going into the
you guys would have
Epsilon matchup. Well, we would have actually not even like had to play Epsilon because they lost winter bracket. So we would have just ran through winter bracket on that side, pretty much, in my opinion. So that's what happened at our tournament. Then we end up facing Epsilon. I mean, they get the early 2-0 lead. And, you know, I feel like it was really mainly due to that they were just screaming and yelling at us the whole time. I mean, we couldn't even really think, you know? It was like they got in our heads, but that shouldn't, in my opinion, we shouldn't even have to deal with that shit, you know? Like, we shouldn't have to deal with the team screaming at us the entire time for the first 2 maps without anybody stepping in, really, and cutting them off. Like, I mean, it was literally like 5 minutes before I even said anything. And, anything back to them. So I mean, that, you know, I feel like we shouldn't have to deal with that shit at events, and you know, that's what I feel like really put us in a hole down those first 2 maps. And then we ended up winning that next CTF, and we barely lost the hard point in the 4th map. Like we lost by like 8 points or something, and it was super close. And we're literally like one player spawn away from winning that map. So you know, I mean, that's our event summed up, and you know, no excuses. I feel like, you know, we got the placing we somewhat deserved, but at the same time, like a couple things could have switched around, and we would have been top 4 there.
Mm-hmm. So basically, ego is Envy's kryptonite.
Well, Nifty was Envy's kryptonite.
Yeah, that kid.
And
that
Gucci,
kid is up and
you know, after
coming. He's going to be
really
big.
Bloods actually,
What I said earlier is true. You weren't here. I guess you didn't catch it earlier. But I basically said right now you guys have the best team you could possibly have on paper. And I mean, as soon as like they learn the game to the point where like they're playing the way they should be playing, they're playing their roles correctly, and they work together. That's the biggest point. Like when I watch you guys, I mean, the only thing I notice is that you're not working together and using each other as good as you could. And I mean, as soon as you do that, and one of them can quote me from earlier, I was literally like, as soon as they do that, they're going to be a top 2 team, right? Like again,
yeah,
right away.
I agree. Yeah, and I mean we know that. You know, it's like we talked about this. Like I didn't really get to talk an extreme amount with you, Pat, at the event, but I talked a ton with like Krim. I talked a ton with Mr. X at the event, your coach. So like we know that. We just have to kind of get in and do our thing. Like I kind of spur of the moment started coaching the team 3 days. Said I was going to coach 3 days before the event. I didn't really do anything for them online. I haven't done any kind of formal coaching for them yet. And I plan to, you know, as soon as we kind of get transitioned into the house and things, I think you're going to see a big change in our team and
Yeah,
how
I'm
we're
coming
performing.
over.
Yeah, Nakes lives about an hour away, so he can come by anytime. But I do want to say this. Like, let me just while Pat's in here, I think Complexity is like probably right now the most organized Call of Duty team there ever has been in competitive Call of Duty. I mean, I really feel like they've taken it to the next level, and that's why they're winning these events right now. I mean, I think Mr. Rex is an amazing coach. Came in there and he's doing a really good job helping these guys out, and I think all 4 players there are just like playing phenomenal. And I was looking at Crim's Twitter followers today, and I was kind of amazed at like dudes under 30,000 Twitter followers. Like Crim's the fucking man. If you don't follow Crimsix on Twitter, like go follow him now, dude. Like I love that guy. I talked to him so much at the event, and so all 4 of those players, and I'm telling you to go follow because Complexity is just like on another level right now. And you know, I think it's like a challenge to us to take them down and every other team out there, and that's why I love this shit because we're gonna come out there and really we're gonna try and beat them, you know. So we're on a mission now.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
no.
mean, do you have an expectation for a date to move in the team house, or you still waiting on visas?
Well, we're gonna go to PAX. So the first weekend of September, like first week of September, we're really trying to make it happen around that time.
Awesome. Do you have any info about Gfinity? I mean, do you guys plan on trying to attend that, or?
Gfinity?
He's out of the call.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
guys,
guys,
so what we're gonna do?
Oh, he's back
Oh.
now.
Alright,
Okay, sorry. I think I'm here now. But yeah, I think we are gonna attend to Gfinity.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mike. One thing I wanted to ask you though is Gfinity gonna change their age restriction now because with the team
I honestly
changes,
have no idea.
like literally, we're the
I have
only
no
2
idea,
teams
man.
that are over. Or us two and Optic are the only 2 teams that are all over 18, which
Yeah,
is kind of a big issue.
I have no idea, man. I really don't know. I don't think that they can, to be honest. But
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like it's gonna be one of those like game battles Canadian ordeals. They have to.
yeah, I mean, I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Damn.
Ay.
That is a good point. I mean, who would really go besides you guys and Optic?
What
But I mean, the
What
thing
about,
is, no one's 18.
about
Ju-
2K?
TK, Gunjar
Gunjar.
17,
Kunjar
Unite.
17.
Ricky 17.
Yeah.
The only other team I could think of, and Soar has Method who's 16. So like,
Who's a baby?
Curse is
Yeah.
the only other team that I think could go.
Well, Curse is solid team.
Yeah, but I mean,
Oh yeah,
but-
for sure.
yeah, but they're wanting more teams at this one, aren't they? Wanting like 16?
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
16
that's-
total.
It's interesting, man. I mean, I don't
There's
know
only
what to tell you.
four
Like
North American.
maybe one team. I mean, I'm sure. Well, let's just put it this way. I'm sure there's going to be more team changes here in the next couple of weeks.
Well,
And-
right. Yeah.
Quite
Wait.
fair.
who was underage on Epsilon? Old Epsilon. Was that Mad Cat? No. What about European?
Mad Cat and Jerd, right?
So now they can't. Now Prophecy
And
can't. attend.
Xanity. Xanity
Yeah,
was-
Xanity's the one who's underage.
Okay.
Oh, Xanity. Okay, it wasn't Mad Cat or Jerk.
No, it is
Alright.
Mad Cat too.
Oh,
Is-
Mad Cat.
I think he's older. No, I think Prof
you
is
sure?
good now. New Prof. Yeah, I think the new Prof.
I thought Mad Cat's like 16.
Yeah, I
Mad.
think Mad Cat is underage, dude. I think Mad
So-
Cat, Xanity, and Jerd are all underage. I'm pretty sure.
No, Jerd isn't. Jerd went to Kutchamp. He was.
Yeah,
he was
Yeah, but-
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but Jerd does what Jerd wants, so it doesn't matter if he was underage or not.
Yeah, Mad Cat's 16 or 17.
So now they can't go either.
Curse or someone said BL Fire 17.
Well, let's just wait
that's
for.
true.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just wait a week, see what happens.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
one of those teams will like probably just switch a player just
Well,
for
yeah,
that.
someone's getting Parasite. Like, there's no way you're not gonna get Parasite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Let the games begin.
Hey, we were
With
just
the
sitting back and
75th
watching.
annual Hunger Games. Oh yeah. oh
Oh
man.
man.
I don't know. I'm honestly a team to watch out for, not a Gfinity, but next couple events, I'm still banking on Unite to come out probably top 5 next event.
This is my thing with Unite. the game we had against them, we lost the hard point by 7. The S&D was close, and like the CTF couldn't have been a closer game. But I feel like Unite is one of those teams that will like when they play the best team in the game, they'll play like all stars, like they'll play amazing. But when they play a team that's like maybe not as good as them, they won't play as good. If that makes sense. And like
That makes
so,
sense.
like I feel like they're the team that would lose the fluky matches, but they would probably like have the ability to beat the best teams.
Yeah, it's like, the game battle search and destroy syndrome, where like,
Yeah, it's just like a
You-
matchup thing.
yeah, you lose to like the noobs, but you destroy, like, you beat the really good kids. Like,
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like they're a big matchup team with who they beat and who they'll lose to.
So I was preaching this theory all weekend in Atlanta. This is my theory. Like, and this is probably why this is what you can attribute, pro teams having a tougher time with like some of the lesser known teams, right? Like
Right.
this far into the game, like we're what, I don't even
9
know,
months.
9 months into the
half.
game. Yeah, we're 9 months into the game. Like today, like to the day, I think it's 9 months exactly. So people, the pros that like stream a lot have really like caught the rest of the public up to their skill level by streaming. I feel like a lot of people, if you want to learn how to play Call of Duty at professional level, just go watch Parasite or Rambo or Aches or TP or any of these guys stream.
What I said earlier is what we do now is just what Impact did at COD Champs. It's like we basically just took their play style and adapted and changed it to fit us. Like
Right.
You
But
want
that's what I'm saying. Like
teams and,
anybody
like,
can find out how to play. Like how,
exactly.
like where to anchor. Like, you know what I mean? Like the first few months of the game, nobody knew where to anchor the hard points specifically on every single map. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the
Like-
thing. In the beginning of the game, like for the first couple of weeks, anchor wasn't even a term. We developed that as we played it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that people have caught up so much in learning the situations in Black Ops 2.
Close
That
skill gap.
it's basically like you're playing people who are using your tactics now, and they know how to counter your tactics just because they're so knowledgeable about the game now.
Yeah.
The first 3 months of competition, it's much easier for like the traditional pros to use their raw skill to their advantage, and then their experience and like training, right? And then
right.
now you have all these people kind of catching up, and so when you go to a tournament like UMG Atlanta, a lot of people there know how to play the game and have the situational awareness, and they're gonna compete with you. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be who shows up that day, that weekend.
Right. So it's like really tough now. It's even harder. Like that's why you have to even like respect complexity more, or respect the teams that are placing top 3 or 4 like even more, because now they know how to do these things. And I think like it throws off a lot of teams when they go in against like a lesser known team, or like players who haven't really pick up teams or whatever. They expect to go in and just run the table, but then they find themselves down pretty quickly in hard points, or down flags in CTF, and it's just really, really hard to adapt.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, if you look at like the professional League of Legends teams in the LCS, they don't stream their scrims at all because they don't want teams, looking at their strats and stuff like that. They keep it very secretive until game time.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like it's almost impossible for us to do that. Like, dude, there's so many LOL teams, StarCraft teams. Not even StarCraft as much, but they're on salary. And like for us COD guys, like if we want salary most of the time, like Twitch TV is where we're gonna get more money than we would anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to stream. We have to put our knowledge out there, and people just have to see it. It's just how it works.
Exactly. I mean, the skill gap has just like definitely come to a little bit of a narrow point now.
Well, I think, honestly, dude, I'm just gonna say this. I love Scuff gaming controllers, but like, when you give every player the ability to make the same plays that they before wouldn't be able to make, and that's what Scuff does. It allows you to become a playmaker in some sense. And I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things that narrowed the skill gap was the Scuff gaming controller put everybody on the same level as far as reaction times and like jump shots and all that. And I mean, it's like a small factor, but when you look at it, it really changes the game.
Oh, it's definitely like a contributing factor. I mean, Scuff controllers definitely help. I mean, they're awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't really
You
deny
practically
that.
need one. Yeah, you need one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love my hybrid controller. I played claw since Call of Duty 4 until like 2 or 3
Yeah,
weeks
same.
ago.
Oh yeah, it's same. I played call, and then dude, Scuff is just the way to go.
5% off
serious.
ESN.
5% off ESN, Aches, Envy, Rambo. What else?
Everyone.
I don't even
So
have to wait a little while.
anyway, Aches, I heard you have to head out, man. You want to shout out any sponsors, anything like that?
Yeah, man. I really want to give a shout out to Jason Lake and Jason Bass again. I mean, I should probably shout them out more than anybody this weekend, but I mean, those guys had our back this whole way through, and then to our sponsors, Sound Blaster, Newegg, Origin, PNY, Creative, Twitch TV, QPad, and GA Brand. So, we love you guys. Wouldn't be able to do it without you. And I'm gonna head out. So I appreciate you guys having me on. Stro, it's good seeing you, talking to you again. But I'm gonna head out, and you guys take it
Yeah.
easy.
All right, night, Aches.
So really
Um,
quick, guys, we do have to take a quick break because we're gonna get Ego in here really quick. He said he has a huge announcement to make, and he wants to do it on stream. After that, we'll continue our discussion with Hastro if he still has time, and we have Golden Boy and Prophet still coming on and talk about UMG and some things with that. So we'll be right back, guys. Don't forget to tweet the stream.
Ego's cloning Nifty.
No sound mod, Merc.
Okay.
Is Merc even in the chat?
I don't know. All right, we good?
You are live with no audio. Sounds good. Are we alive now? Can you hear us? Hello, hello, hello.
There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
Now we're back.
Sorry about that, guys. We are joined, like we said, but you, the icon.
No, they didn't hear us. They didn't hear us say that.
Well, still. That's not my job. Blame Marshall. But anyway,
No.
guys, we are joined by Ego. And he has an announcement to make. So he is basically saying, he didn't really think about coming on the show and how to put it. So he could take it on from there. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll kind of just wing it. I'm always kind of to the point anyway. Basically, long story short, with Conquer, we're just going to have Gucci and Nifty. Gucci's going to be the captain, and him and Nifty are going to be looking for 2 players for the rest of Black Ops 2. I'm not quitting. I don't know, I'm just going to wait for now. I just know there's not really that much going on, but for the next probably 3 months or so, not really into playing, especially, well, I almost fell out of my chair, especially online. One thing that I think would be really important for both of them being younger players that are finally starting to get experience. Like Gucci, the one thing Gucci talked about too is they want to have a practice schedule and be able to practice. Before Anaheim and before UMG, we literally did not practice at all. We did not. Zero practice going into both events. And I just think both of those players have the ability to be on a first place team if they have the right people around them and if they actually got that practice in. So I mean, I don't really know what more to say on that, but like I said, I'm just not really having the best time playing, especially online right now. And I just think there's a lot of other stuff we can work on. I think that I can still help out. I still want to help those 2 players out 100%. I love both of those 2 kids, and I'm going to do everything I can to help them find 2 teammates, whether it's coach them, manage them, support them, all that. So I don't know if anyone has any questions. It's really all I can say on it.
Yeah. What happened to Bloods?
Well, I mean, with Bloods, Bloods is a great player. I don't know. I think that him and Nifty kind of bump heads sometimes, and this is nothing to take away against Bloods. I just think that if you have Gucci and Nifty, that they can kind of maybe get a more upper tier player. Even though I do preach looking at new people all the time. I don't know. I think that we can kind of make a more powerful squad. Again, it's nothing against Bloods. It's just they kind of both felt like maybe we can find someone better. Who knows? Maybe Bloods will end up coming back in the end. But I think to keep them a team of 2 right now and let them kind of feel it out and see who wants to play with them and they can run with and what can be best for them as a team is the way to go right now.
Someone just said Parasite, Gucci, Nifty, and 2 quick.
So I know you were saying you have more fun, playing some of these other games right now. Everything's still going around the same with Icons, right? You guys still know these tournaments, everything?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. To be honest, something like this is the main reason behind this. Actually, the more important reason behind it is being a player has always taken time away from time that I need to be putting towards the site and kind of being more involved with the everyday process that Overlay deals with and just being more involved. But yeah, that'll take nothing away from Icons at all. This is just Conquer.
Awesome.
That's kind of a shocking announcement. I didn't expect that. I thought you were going to announce that Parasite was joining or something like that. But
well, again, like I said, I just think that those 2 players, there should be people that want to play with them. Just offhand, I don't know what Parasite's doing, but I'm just that type of person. I think that I'll be able to go out there and talk to different people. To be honest, I would love to bring Study back because I think the 3 of them. To be honest, I think that if we could bring Study back and put Parasite in, I honestly think that team could win a championship. But that's Parasite kind of has the ego, and that's on him and whatever. But that's just an example. There's lots of anchors out there. There's a lot. Even Bloods could work with that team. The problem was right now the Bloods isn't really a vocal player, and you can get away with having one non-vocal player, I think, on each team. But your other three people need to be able to bring energy, bring hype, and non-stop communication. And I don't know, me and Bloods both don't do that, and that's why I think we are experienced and have the ability enough to like get to that same like 6 through 12 spot pretty much every single event every team I've played on since forever. But like breaking that point, besides that COD XP, which was like not as a competitive tournament, has always been difficult. I think because we don't consistently have that. We'll rely on kind of like at Anaheim, we really relied on like if Study was going off and Study had energy, shit was good. But like you can't rely on just that one person. You have to be able to come from everybody. Like if you even notice with Epsilon, like once Killa lost his voice, it took a lot away from that team because they kind of feed. Even like Miracles is a loudmouth, but he doesn't really get into it until he like kind of feeds off of Killa. So you need people that can all feed off each other like that.
Yeah, Killa kind of ignites it, and then everyone goes on with it. Oh man! But so, what are your plans now for the rest of Black Ops 2?
I mean, obviously, we're still going to be doing our thing on Icons. Like I said, that has nothing to do with this. But me personally, like, I'm just going to be kind of hanging out. I want to help Nifty and Gucci as much as I can. When it comes to event time, my main focus is going to like kind of be doing what Star does for Envy. He just makes sure that they're prepared, make sure that they're taking care of themselves the right way, make sure that they're not staying up late and that they're as prepared as possible for like event day.
Look at that. I'm just kidding.
It is a hard thing to do, but to be honest, like Gucci and Nifty are two of the best. When they don't really like. I don't know. They're not really involved.
I was super impressed by both of them. Super nice kids, man. Both of them. Like Nifty's awesome, dude. Nifty's gonna be the man one day. Telling you.
Yeah. They both have really good attitudes. They both love playing, and they both want to win.
Yeah.
Even Rambo, vocalized his opinion about it. He was playing eights with him, and he was like, "Yo, Nifty, why did you push? Why'd you push packages, man? You shouldn't have done that. It cost us a flag." He's like, oh, "Okay, sorry, Ray. I won't do it again." And Ray was like, "Well, what?"
Yeah. He takes like criticism good. Like he works on things instead of just throwing off and be like, "All right, you're an idiot." So that's good.
Yeah.
I think the team has a lot of potential. Interesting to see who they're going to pick up in the coming days and weeks. Sure. So, Ego, you got anything else you want to add on, man?
No, that's pretty much it, man. I'm just like I said, I'm not really trying to play that much Call of Duty online, so it's gonna be on them, and I think they're gonna be really, 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 really dangerous team. It's funny because a lot of people like they consider those two players like just better online players, but online is important now too. Like whether this whole pro point thing, like I don't know, I'm just really, really confident in what those two are going to be able to do and what the different things everybody brings to the table. About it though.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. Like always, make sure to follow him at Ego the Icon. So what we're gonna do, guys? I know we just took a break, but we got to get not Jeff. I'm sorry. We got to get Brian, our Prophet, and Golden Boy in here. So we'll be right back in like a minute. And yeah, tweet the stream.
What is going on? We are back live with ESN Late Night, episode 31. Huge shout out to Ego the Icon for joining us. If you have missed it, he will be stepping down from Conquer, and Nifty and Gucci will be looking for two. But now we are still joined by Hastro, and we have added Prophet and Golden Boy, not Jeff, that is the wrong image, to our call. How you guys doing tonight?
Fantabulous.
Doing good. I just got home a little bit ago.
Are you sick, Brian?
I'm tired.
Okay. All right.
So guys, before I hand it off to Hype to do it solo dolo, I'm actually gonna sign off for the night. I have a flight to catch in the morning to LA for the Call of Duty Ghost reveal. So guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight to episode 31. We had amazing numbers, had some great discussion. Huge shout out to our guests, Neslo, Parasite, Aches, Ego, Prophet, Golden Boy, and Hastro. Thank you guys all so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Before I plug my own Twitter and let Hype do whatever, also follow all of Esports Nation's coverage partners on Twitter at Elgato Gaming, at Scuff Gaming, and at Gamma Gamers. They provide us with amazing products and help us give you guys our comprehensive coverage of competitive Call of Duty. So guys, also follow me. Oh, and Methods, right? At Soar Methods on Twitter. And follow me on Twitter at ESN_OutSlice. So guys, good night. See you guys later.
Have a good one, Max.
Hey, have fun at the event, buddy.
I will, and I will be tweeting you how amazing the game is. All right.
Max, I hate you. Have a good night.
Night.
So, Golden Boy, Brian, how you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. Tired. We had a very successful event, obviously. The numbers were great. I think everyone was very, very pleased on our side about how I think we had a few hiccups, as far as just production was concerned. But there was just no doubt about it that this was UMG's most successful event yet, and it was largely due in part to the amazing teams that we had there. I mean, I really just couldn't be more satisfied with the turnout of teams. I mean, not only did we have Envy, who is a team that I've always looked up to. I mean, Hasho and I are good friends, and I've always looked up to what he's built. But we also had Caliber up in there, and I think that was just a great new addition to the Call of Duty community, which is phenomenal. VVV, Complexity, of course, Curse. I mean, it was the who's who in teams. We were only missing Optic, honestly. And if it wasn't for Merc having to go to a wedding, they would have been there too. So it was a great experience, and I think, and I also am very pleased with how the team handled it too. Like our team, our events team, it was a very taxing event to get everything together the way that it was, and that really goes to Jeff. I mean, Jeff is that guy who, he's public, and he, everyone talks to Jeff, and he is the face of UMG. But at the end of the day, man, this dude, you don't know how much he does for not only this community, but also just for the company as a whole. It truly is an amazing thing. So it was a blessing to be a part of, and I'm really glad that we were able to pull it off.
Yeah, it definitely was an amazing event. The production was, way better than St. Louis, and obviously just the teams in general were. It was amazing competition. St. Louis, that you guys only really had two major teams there, and then to go from there to this event, it was amazing. I think everyone, really enjoyed watching the progress between the two events. But I know there was an issue with the map count in the finals, and I kind of want you to explain that so you can just explain everything that happened, so it's not going down as you guys were trying to rig the bracket or anything, because it wasn't like that, and you can kind of just explain everything that happened.
Yeah. Brian, you want me to take that one?
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
All right. So what happened was that we had two plausible situations presented to us. One was Epsilon facing off against Complexity in the finals, and then TK facing off Complexity in the finals. And if Epsilon faced them, it was going to be two best of fives, because it was going to be your loser bracket match, so that they would knock them down to the losers bracket, whatever. And then the other one. So basically, TK or Epsilon would have had to have won two best of fives, and Complexity would have only had to have won one best of five. But what ended up happening was that Team Caliber ended up in the finals, and because Complexity and Caliber met up, it then became a continuation series. And everyone's familiar with the continuation series, but what ended up occurring was that we had, and this was my fault, honestly. I mean, we were all so exhausted that it was just my fault. I missed a map. I missed CTF raid. So we ended up playing, I believe it was a hard point instead of CTF or something like that. And at the end, the initial setup was that, it didn't make sense. I'm like, damn, we only have 10 game types. Well, how the hell do people do best of 11s? Mind you, like, brain farting because we've been exhausted all day. And then, all right, well, I told both teams, I was like, Meltdown, Search and Destroy is going to be the last game type if we get to it. And both teams were like, oh, yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, no one had any grievances with that whatsoever. But then Revan brought it to my attention. I should have had him there because he's way more intelligent than I am. And he's just said, hey, we're going to have to play that CTF in the end. And so in the end, the CTF would, if TK would have won that hard point, we would have played the Raid CTF game, period. So, I mean, it wasn't going to be another Search and Destroy. Because if it was another Search and Destroy, I mean, there could have been a high chance TK would have won it, but it would have been the Raid CTF no matter what, since that was the only game type that was missing out of rotation. And I would have told both teams, and both teams would have been okay with it, because that's just the situation and how it was. It played out. Neither team was mad, nor, came at me. I spoke with Chaos. I spoke with, Aches and Mr. X, and everyone was fine. Everyone was like, hey, it is what it is. Not really a big deal. It was a great final, and everyone was happy with it. So, I mean, I think it was more or less just people who were angry about, certain things throughout the weekend, kind of just doing their best to add more fuel to the flame, which is fine. I mean, if they want to do that, it's fine. But yeah, so we nipped that one right in the butt, and it was not being rigged for TK. As much as I love Neslo, I don't love him that much. So, integrity of UMG is still important at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, no matter what, every single event's gonna have little issues. There's no way around it. But you guys really did good in making sure nothing, went out of hand, and both teams were really cool with the situation. It seemed like, so that was good.
Yeah, both teams were absolutely understanding. So.
Yeah, and that was the thing, right? I was very, very adamant on making sure that anyone that stepped up on, because main stage was my domain. That was I was making sure that anyone that stepped up on that stage was comfortable and ready to go. I don't want anyone to play under circumstances where it was disadvantageous. Things like that. I want to make sure everyone was. So, I personally would get up on the stage and I would say, "Are you ready? Are you ready? How long? Great. Let's." That's the level of interaction that I wanted to make sure I had with the players. And before games, when they got on the stage, I talked to everyone and just want to make sure everyone was comfortable. And
you said absolutely no trash talk whatsoever. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Sorry.
Okay.
Get that in there.
No, Mike. So here's
that was a complete joke, but nobody laughed.
No. Okay. I told Epsilon beforehand. I was like, I know this is something you guys are going to bring up later, but I just told them, and I told any team that went up there, I was like, I want you guys to minimize on that trash talk. And they were like, they said, yeah, sure. They just completely ignored that. So it was just right over their head, Golden Boy, just shut up. So I guess, it is what it is. But I have some plans in motion to minimize that next time. But yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people were saying UMG didn't do anything to step in, but Jeff's actually in the call now, but he went up there in the middle of the game and he told Miracles to just keep playing and stop trash talking. But it's kind of hard to stop a game mid map and say, whoa, stop the trash talking. You just can't do it. They're doing the whole series at that point. But.
Yeah, if actually there was another video that Ringleader had posted when Fizzerp was yelling at who was it, Unite? Was it Unite or TK? Actually, Fizzerp was yelling at TK. Yeah. And he was yelling so much, and you can actually hear me in the video getting on the stage just yelling at Fizz, telling him to shut up. And you can see Dito's face, he goes from this rage incarnate beast to like, oh shit. And you could see it. And we should have done a better job, without a doubt, of policing the level. Like, I'm okay with trash talk. I know that it's a part of the game, and I know that it's a part of it, but I'm not what Killa was doing. I spoke to him. I told him straight up I was not happy with it. And I had heard rumblings that he had flipped off the crowd. So I was livid. And I just went right up to him, and I was just like, dude, like, is this true? And then I went back and I saw it wasn't, right? I saw some of the VOD, and I saw some of the other things, and, had a couple other sources, as well as our on-stage ref, Shiner, telling us, that it wasn't. But he said he wanted to. And I'm like, well, if you ever, like, feel like you want to flip off the crowd, I was like, then you're doing it wrong. You know that, right? Like, that was basically where we got at with that. And I mean, it's unfortunate because he's a really talented player, and don't get me wrong, the choo-choo train thing is funny as hell, but that will never be happening at another UMG ever again. Not to that. There will be technicals given out moving forward. I mean, the guy who was running the stage, he wasn't even like meant to be there. He wasn't even meant to be like a ref on the stage. He was meant to help out with other things, but I just knew that we were going to need that guy up there, and it's not even his fault because he's not a ref. But next time, moving forward with our next event, I will make sure that there will be a ref, or my ass will sit there personally and DQ anyone that gets out of hand. So,
yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people are blaming Ringleader too for posting the video, but like, it's not really his fault. He's trying to grow his own personal.
That's
media,
what Ringleader's there for.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be upset at him for that. He's just doing his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm okay with him posting up the videos, and I mean, really, like, they were funny. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, they were like, if he's like saying like, I'm in your head, I'm in, like, that's okay. Like, that's fine. But it's when, like, Miracles got up and started talking trash to Hastro, like, sit down, old man. Like, that's a personal thing, right? Don't say that, Even if, it doesn't matter if it's Hastro, it doesn't matter if it was Papa Realize, if it was Jet, like, it doesn't matter. That was, like, a personal attack that he had set upon. It got out of the game, and he insulted him about something else. And those are not the things that UMG is about. So, again, a big apology to anyone who was offended by it. But I know a large portion of people in this chat were not offended by it, but I was. And hopefully we just make sure that that does not happen again.
Yeah, definitely. So, Jeff, how you doing, man? Awesome. Good talking with you.
I like cake. That's about the only thing I can think of right now.
Awesome. So I heard how was your trip home?
Oh, my God. So my trip started out late in the afternoon from the St. Louis area on Wednesday, but all day Wednesday, obviously, last minute packing and double checking equipment and just, all that good stuff that you want to try to have, taken care of before you get on the road. So from basically Wednesday on, my days were nonstop. I mean, we were 2, 3, 4 hours sleep. And then Sunday night, and then we got up, I started packing up equipment, Sunday evening, and then we all got up and finished it on Monday morning, and we get everything I get the truck pulling the trailer, they take off. So me and some of the other crew and my kids, your mic sounds like crap, dude. Me and a couple crew members and my kids, and we got on the road, and we broke down just on the west side of Nashville, and I mean, we just started losing all power. I mean, and so I pull off this accident ramp that, mind you, did not have signs pointing to lodging, gas, or anything like that. It was an exit ramp for me to get off the interstate, and we ended up about 5 hours driving through Cooterville, Tennessee. Found some. We asked the phone, hey, repair shops or whatever. So it gives me like 5.3 miles. We're going down, getting ready to turn into a red dirt road, and we pull in, and it's a barn behind this house that looked like it'd seen the Civil War. And this guy, I'm just like, oh my God. Well, I'm reaching in the back, getting my 40 cal out and putting it, in my belt. and talked to him. He couldn't do nothing. And after, I don't even really want to bore you with this story, but long story short, I finally got everything taken care of, and we got back on the road. And I just got home about maybe an hour and a half ago. So I feel like I aged 10 years this weekend.
So you're 70 now, is what you're saying?
Yes, I am no longer pre-senior citizen. I have crossed the line. Thank you, Alex.
No problem, buddy. Anytime. Got you back.
Oh, man.
But, as far as the weekend goes, I mean, everything that took place this weekend, and with the outcome of the event and the stream numbers and the tweets and just all the players at the event. It was worth it. It's worth it to me. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, to have parents just nonstop all weekend coming up and shaking my hand and, hey, thanks, the kids really love this, and you're putting on, this is the best event we've been to, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, it was just, and obviously, I didn't have a lot of time to spend talking with people because I am pretty busy at events, which is a habit I need to get out of, and I need to start, kind of, I don't know, sitting back and maybe doing a little more staff directing than, because I'm the type of person, if something goes, if there's an issue with a console or a switch box or anything, I just go do it. I bet you that anybody at the event could tell you a dozen times when there was issues or whatever, there'd be like 32 feet of consoles lined up, and I might be crawling around at the wall tracing down cords, and then 10 minutes later pop out the other side. That was me. That's what I do. I just you see something's going wrong, it's just take care of it. Just do it yourself. So, but yeah, I'm brain dead. So if I'm rambling, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the chat. I'm just it's a lot.
I just want to know something. Did you really go by a place called Cooterville? Did I hear that right?
I don't really believe it.
I'm gonna Google that right now.
Yeah, I don't really think it was Cooterville, but that's kind of, I don't know. I had this picture of this like Gomer Pyle looking guy coming at me in bib overalls, with no shirt on and grease all over his face with a big pipe wrench in his hand. Can I help you? And I was just like, oh, give me my gun.
There is a Cooterville, by the way.
Because I've seen maybe a lot of the viewers in the chat are a little young to remember Deliverance, but I remember Deliverance, and I was just really like, holy cow!
By the way, Cooterville, Los Angeles, apparently is the thing.
Really?
Yeah. And there's also another company called Cooterville Mud Rides. So we gotta.
I bet it's in Alabama. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's down in Alabama.
We're gonna find out.
Let's
go on, Jeff. Yeah. Keep on talking.
Keep on rambling because we're here to. Yeah, we're
here to find out where Cooterville is.
Now let's get to the bottom of Cooterville.
Yeah.
But there were some issues. We had, there were things happened, but we got through them.
Yeah. Obviously, you guys did a great job. All your staff is working hard. I know that for sure. I kept tweeting out as much as I can. You guys, before the event, you guys were staying up. I remember Nick was on. Nick and Greg were on doing graphics, all night long. I didn't go to sleep for a few nights. And all the staff was, for sure.
Yeah. I got great news, but I don't know if I should say it.
Announcing another UMG event?
No.
Oh, well.
Let somebody else talk for a minute so I can side chat Alex.
Okay, here we go.
I need to get permission.
Well, go ahead, Jeff. You can side chat me. I'm very good at multitasking. You have anything to ask me?
Yeah.
Not
I'm
Brian.
good at multitasking.
I thought we were talking about the event that turned into Cooterville. So
I found Cooterville, by the way. I'm very happy about that. But yeah. So, go ahead. I guess any questions? I'm here.
So, I want to talk about the casters. You guys had a lot of up-and-coming casters this weekend, and I think a lot of them really impressed, most of the viewers. I know
reflections.
Yep. He was on a lot. He did a great job. If Alex, if you want to talk about the new casters that we're casting, if they'll be at future UMG events, so you could talk about that, anything like that, that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. So, coming into this event, obviously, UMG is. I'm not gonna go out there and say we're, MLG or whatever, because we're UMG.
God, no.
And I think like one thing I wanted to do with this event was I knew that we were going to be short on casters, and I knew that myself and Revan were going to be really tired with me directing the stream, also a bunch of the other things that I was doing too, like meeting up with potential partners and stuff like that. And also kind of delegating what some of our other sponsors as well that had booths at the event, and delegating with them too. So I knew that I was going to be very exhausted. But obviously casting is what I was brought out there to do. So I was going to, cast. And then Jeff had asked me if you wanted to bring on board one caster, right now, who would you want to bring? And I watch Rival Caster a lot, like when Rival Caster came on, and I really was a big fan of Reflections. I think like he's a good caster, good voice, good personality. And I thought that he was my personal vouch. I said, I want to bring Reflections on board. And I'm glad we did. I think Reflections did phenomenal this weekend. Lots of energy and excitement from him, which is exactly what I told all the casters. I was like, energy and excitement. That's what I want. This is a fun time. We're all here. It's video games, let's have some fun. So I think it was great. Then, of course, we had Bishop, who was he's brand new, guys. And I mean, there's so many people out there that, I guess, badmouth casters. And I mean, what do you get out of that? I guess is what I want to know. But
I'd like to see them cast.
Exactly. It's tough. And it was Bishop's first live event. So he knew, too, that he was having some rough patches in his casting and all that, and calling some things. And obviously, not everyone's going to come out on their first event and do a stupendous job. So we knew that going into it, and Bishop was okay with it. This was a test run for him, and he was just so happy to be there and to be a part of the event, and was just a great part of the team. Was very happy about that. And Turbo, I was one of the first guys who, when I first found out about Turbo so long ago, after I came back from UMG, I forgot which one it was. I saw this dude named Turbo, and everyone was, tweeting me, Golden Boy, you got to get on this call, and you got to get on this channel and check out this guy Turbo. And I checked it out, and ever since then, me and AJ have been good friends. So it's like I'm a fan of Turbo. I'll always be a fan of Turbo. But one area where Turbo really came clutch this weekend is in the directing and producing role. When I was out there casting, when I, again, delegating with our partners and whatnot, he was directing with Max Gerald. He was, getting our mix amps sorted out for our listen-ins. He was getting our lighting situated, running around, making sure when our next match was going to be. I think that was great. And, when you have that versatility, it really, really shines. And so I got to give Turbo all the credit in the world for that. It was very helpful. And then, of course, I thought, since AGL was in the house and Gandhi and Maven are two very good friends of mine, I was like, you know what? Let me bring on board these two clowns, because I know that people would dig them. And I wanted to bring them in for just a search and destroy game, because I knew that they don't know jack about COD, and it was just funny. And I think a lot of people really enjoyed it. So, and I guess the only thing now is for me to try and convince Hasho to allow Rambo to cast on a regular basis, because that was another guy I really enjoyed casting with. So overall, it was just great. And of course we had Cheeto there too. And Cheeto, I always forget about Cheeto because he's just so consistent that it just helps. He's just he's like a solid rock, and I'm always a big fan of him. So overall, it was great. I felt really confident with all the casters that we had and the presentation and stuff. So I really can't complain.
Can I say something here about that?
Go ahead.
I just want to show a little love to Paradox and just let everybody know that I miss him because of stupid college.
Education. Damn education.
I know. But Paradox is still very much a part of this team. Our last 2 COD events he has not been able to attend because of scheduling conflicts with higher education. So I think if I could have had changed maybe 1 or 2 things or anything, I really wish that Brent could have made it to that event. I really do. I think that would have been, if there was a missing link, I think Paradox is the guy that would have filled that void. If we can even say there was a void.
Yeah. One thing I'm going to say though, Jeff, sorry. Next event though, we are going to actually be cutting down on the amount of casters we have, because I won't lie, we had a lot. So we'll have guest cast, because that was something I really did want to do this weekend, was get more guest casters in, but because we had such a high volume of casters to begin with, I wanted to make sure it was fair and balanced and no one was shown favoritism over another. So, but moving forward though, and it has nothing to do with the caster's performance or anything, just for the sake of production, and I know that people love to see the analysis and the, I guess, mindset of the players. We will seek out that for the next event. I think it's something I really want to try and take advantage of. But probably get guys like Minnesota Burns in to cast something. That would be pretty fun. And I think that was something that we kind of missed the mark on in this event, and we didn't take advantage of. Besides Rambo coming in, and but that's something we're definitely going to do.
So, Jeff, did you get approval to announce what you were trying to say earlier?
Well, earlier you'd asked me about, what I thought of the event. And, one thing that I do want to point out, we will be, doing a little press release and obviously, doing some marketing to use this in our favor. But I can officially say that Jeff this is what I'm going to officially say, Jeff is the biggest faggot that ever hit UMG. Thank you. Wow, the love. Okay, I'm just gonna show him.
Oh, I'll just ban that guy. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, I got that. One thing that we did do, and this obviously proves the marketability of UMG, is that Squid Grip, in their entire existence, they had a record sales day a while back that it was what they call it, not Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where they set, their the last Cyber Monday, Squid Grip set their online sales record. We, with the UMG code on Saturday, we broke Squid Grip's all-time best-selling day ever in their existence, by the viewers of UMG Atlanta, and which really, to me, that made me feel good, knowing that we can deliver for our sponsors. And to top it off, the record that we broke on Saturday, on Sunday, we turned around and broke Saturday's record on pushing Squid Grip out there and really representing them. So that was one of the, for an event organizer, from my point of view, that was one of the best things that I got out of that event, knowing that we delivered for our sponsors. So that, to answer your question from 20 minutes ago or whenever it was, I think that was a very key moment for me. I think when I told Nick that, Nick from Trinity Studios, who is on our staff, we just kind of laughed when we found out that news. It was just kind of, it was the best. So, but that's all I got. I don't really have anything else to talk about.
So, I can't really have any of you guys on the show without asking.
Uh-oh.
There has to be discussion about another UMG event already, I'm sure. I know you guys have tweeted out.
I knew it was coming too.
I know you guys have tweeted out looking, areas like New York, Texas, and West Coast you were tweeting about earlier. And I know the biggest response was from, the New York area. Do you guys have any plans? Anything you could tell us about, Jeff, Prophet, Golden Boy, anything?
Where would you like the next event? West Coast, New York, or Texas? That's all I'm going to say about it.
Texas.
Hell, I'll say a little more than that. I've got a venue lined up for Dallas, Texas. I just haven't committed to going to it yet. Very nice, very large. Even though we had a large venue in Atlanta, the venue that we are talking with in Texas is actually bigger than that. but we're looking at New York. We are seriously weighing our options to take UMG to New York and see if we can't beat Atlanta. That would be nice. So I guess I will 90% say that our next event's going to be Dallas or New York. 90%. Now, you never know. Things happen, and it's not as simple as saying, okay, we're going to New York and we're going to go on this date and then let's lock down a venue. I mean, you only get so many windows of opportunity with some of these venues, throughout the year. So obviously with us, we don't want to host when Gfinity's hosting. I mean, even if it's an invite only tournament, we don't want to stream against them, and we didn't intend on having streaming while EGL was streaming. We didn't want to do that. It just, we announced our event. They came out a week or so after us and announced theirs. They didn't do it out of spite or anything like that. That was their window for opportunity for that event. So that's how that went down. So you got MLG in November and you got Gfinity in October. And, obviously we can't go in September because, you just don't host that many, it doesn't make sense. So right now we are just, if we can find the right venue and our right window of opportunity, then that's where it's going to be.
Awesome. So, I mean, are you trying? Okay, let's say this. I know there's windows of opportunity.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, but I do want to reiterate. I want to touch on something that I just read in the chat. But go ahead, Hype. Ask your question.
I know there's windows of opportunity, but are you definitely or 100% hosting another Black Ops 2 tournament, or are you just gonna see how it goes from here?
I think if we shoot for the time frame that we're going to go for, it is 100% going to be a Black Ops 2 tournament.
How do we even know Ghost is going to be viable?
Well, I could say this.
We know that?
I will say this. Okay. I don't think they would invite ESN, and I don't think they'd invite half the players they did.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, their first folly was that they didn't invite me, and that's just racist. But beyond that, though, no, seriously, in all jokes aside, COD Ghost, they committed. I was there at COD Champs. Activision committed. They verbally committed to 3 years of Call of Duty Championships events. I know that that's definitely going to be happening. They have a team that is, committed to esports, and I don't know how they're working in that regard, but what I do know is that COD Ghost will, in some way, shape, or form, be with UMG. I mean, it's gonna. We're as everyone jumps over to the next game, we're just gonna have to feasibly jump over to the next game. Period. So that's just what I know, and
there you go.
Yeah. So again, it's all about what's feasible.
Okay, to answer the question, do we want to host another Black Ops 2 tournament? You're damn right we do.
Yes.
There. Okay.
Well, yes, there you go. Well, that's what I was going to get at, but, I usually tend to go in circles. So, yes, thank you, Jeff.
Okay. So, what were you trying to say before I asked the question, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. I
forget.
No, I don't forget. I do forget, but I didn't forget this. Somebody asked about our prize pool. I think that, I mean, you got to understand, like, when we announce an event, you got to, there is a bit of a gamble when we guarantee a prize pool. There is. I mean, you just don't know how that event's going to go, if enough teams are going to show up to support it, and, got to make sure you have enough sponsors on board to make sure it's covered. But there it is again, that 20K number that Unresting is throwing out there. I'm going to tell you right now, our main goal, which we've been in, all of us worked all weekend, traveled all day today. When we all got home, when I finally got home, we immediately jumped in a Skype call, me and my 3 closest staff members, and we started discussing this very issue. We feel that after this event, with the support of the community, which has always been there, we see no reason why our number one priority should not be guaranteeing a higher prize pool now. I hope that Atlanta was the last of our 10K series. That's a goal. I think that, I don't want to set the bar too high. Would a 15K be okay? But you know what? It doesn't sound right. I like the sound of 20K, 25K. And if we grow it bigger, then there's 50K. That's our goal. We want to get the prize pool as big as we can. But let's be realistic. I don't see anything in the near future for 100K prize pool from UMG. Let's be real. Would it be great? Hell yeah. But let's not set the bar too high that we can't hit it. But I think 20K is a bar that is something reasonable that we can shoot for, that I believe is a possibility in the near future.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that's been a goal for the while. You guys have been doing the 10Ks for a while now, and I know you've always wanted to raise your prize pool pretty much as high as you can go. And that's great to see that you're still supporting and still trying to give as much back as you can to the community. So great.
Any plan to spread teams out to avoid Epsilon versus Envy again? Well, I don't really. No,
that was not a. For one, we had our seeding tournament. They were seeded. Epsilon versus Envy, when they were knocked down to the losers bracket. That's the meeting that was. There is no such thing. We don't rig brackets, period. And for the sake of having top teams, they got to come out, perform, and play. And I'm pretty sure everyone would want it that way. Whether it be the guys in Epsilon, Envy, whatever. So that's not the case. And again, there was seeding. It's not like we randomized the brackets. There was seeding. The only team that was not seeded in this tournament was Complexity. That won. They were the only team that were not seeded in this tournament.
Yeah, I do want to say that the teams that signed up after because we sold out the tournament, and then we offered the seeding tournament to the 64 teams that pre-registered. Then when so many teams were wanting, hey, we didn't get our team passes, and I had parents calling me saying, we booked our flight, we booked our hotel, but we didn't know that there was a cap. And so that was just like, fine, we'll get some more equipment, we'll try to get bigger venue space, and we opened up to add more teams. Now those teams did get randomized after the seeding tournament, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. But all the big teams, most of the big teams that were there, they were seeded. So however the bracket worked out, that's just how it worked out. It's
really quick, Hashtag actually brought up in the chat, he believes they mean like sitting farther apart from each other instead of being right next to each other. I don't know if that's what he means.
Oh, okay.
Like, so that they're not right next to each other, sitting there yelling and whatnot.
I don't think that. I honestly, I don't think that would make a difference. I think if they're gonna yell, they're gonna yell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I went out the corridor outside by where everybody was smoking, and I could still hear Killer's version of Nature Boy Ric Flair. So it doesn't matter how far. That's literally what was coming to mind. Woo, woo. I was just like, oh my god, I gotta go in there. And that's when I went up on main stage and I was like, play the game. You're here to play the game. Just play the damn game. And I'm not knocking him. I like Killer. I like everybody at the event. It was a good time, but it was just like, I don't know how he does that. So
well, if you heard, I just want to say, if you heard in the finals, a large reason why I believe Epsilon lost, Killer was just wasted. He was done. He was exhausted, and his voice was gone. So lesson to all you amateurs out there: don't go wooing in a tournament, or else you're going to lose your voice and you won't be able to communicate. Be smart. Period.
Conserve your energy.
So, like some of the video, you gotta admit, I can't think anyone could say it differently. Some of this stuff was pretty funny. Okay. Like,
it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Yeah. So
okay. I got to repeat the story. I'm sorry. I have to repeat the story. It has to do with Fizzer, and it was the funniest thing that I had ever heard. Okay. He literally was on the stage. They were playing TK. It was when they were playing TK. It was that same game when I went up and I told Fizz to just like relax, right? after that one, I was sitting back and I was just like watching the game, and I'm watching, I'm listening to casters and running, making sure we're doing our listenings and whatnot. And then, and then toward the end of the game, I noticed like, Merck and they're just doing work, right? And Fizzard literally like just blurts out loud, he's like, I got all my streaks and I'm not even going to use them. And it's like a pause. Is, oh wait, I will. Shit had me rolling. I don't think I had ever. It is the fact that like he screamed at like the top of his lungs. It was the funniest thing, and like I felt like no one caught that and has ever repeated to everyone. And I'm like, that's like one of the funniest moments I had ever heard. Just because like you just said, I'm not even gonna use my streaks. Oh wait, I don't respect you enough that I will. Like those are the kinds of things, right? That's quality trash talk, right? Yeah. That's quality trash talk, and I respect that. But when I hear, and even Ric Flair's wooing, like, the Ric Flair stuff, like that's okay. My thing was the personal aspect of it. When it got personal was when, because I come from, years of watching Halo, right? And, one of my good friends who was probably one of the greatest trash talkers in the history of trash talking was Gandhi.
Yep.
And his quality trash talk, it was just on another level. It truly was, like it was just good stuff, and it made you, it just like freaked you out. So it was like it got in your head. And trash talk is a part of the game, and I understand that. But it's just like, when you get up and you just start blurting out curse words, and like that stuff's not quality. But or that's just what I believe. Now, just to address the sound issue, right? We had what I'm looking into right now is for us to do soundproof headphones. That's like what MLG does. Very similar mentality is what I'm running with here. It's we're looking into it right now. I'm looking into it, I should say, just from a production standpoint. The players are okay with it. I spoke to a lot of the players. They were more than fine with it. And since they do it at MLG already, I'm pretty sure it won't be an issue to do it here. I know like Hastro would rather, soundproof booths. Me and him actually had a conversation about this. And soundproof booths are just, they're expensive to make, There's a reason why MLG hasn't invested into them for Call of Duty. They're just expensive. When I was with IPL, soundproof booths cost, our soundproof booth, which was a piece of crap and was breaking up, basically, falling apart, that cost us like 15 grand a booth, or 10 grand a booth. I'm sorry, 10 grand a booth. When we looked into building a team booth for League of Legends, it was going to be like close to 30K a booth for like what we wanted. Could have been a little less, but that's a discussion for another day. But it's just a lot of money. So the logical approach is to go with the soundproof headphones for right now, and just see how that works out. And I think a lot of people would be okay. So it's just going to have to be a compromise right now. And again, because the players already do it at MLG, I don't see it being a big deal.
Yeah. So, just to go back to what I was saying, the video, I think the best part of the whole thing, Jeff walks on stage to tell Miracles and, start playing the game, same thing with Killa. And he walks on stage, and Miracles just like, yo, Jeff, look at what's happening to my ult